Welcome to the Raise Your Energy podcast. My name is Linda Lange and I'm your host and energy expert. Have you ever wondered if you are truly embracing a growth mindset or just telling yourself you are? It's easy to say you love challenges and want to grow, but what does it actually look like in practice? And how can you avoid the traps of doing too little or even pushing too hard? In today's episode, we are uncovering the truth about growth mindset and how to align your actions with real, lasting change. Have you ever heard someone talk about having a growth mindset and thought, yeah, okay, I'm on board with that? You've probably told yourself, I'm open to learning and change. I want to grow. Maybe you've even felt a sense of pride, like being committed to growth is one of your personal virtues. But here's the question. Are you truly living a growth mindset, or are you unknowingly stuck in what's called a false growth mindset? This is where things get tricky, and honestly, it's easy to see why. So many of us associate a growth mindset with positive thinking, just saying the right things, staying optimistic and cheering on the idea of improvement. Maybe you've caught yourself saying something like, of course I'm open to challenges, or I'm always learning and growing. But here's the catch. While the words and thoughts sound great, a true growth mindset isn't about just thinking or saying those things. The truth is, a real growth mindset happens when you actually step into the hard work of change, when you take on challenges that truly stretch you, make you uncomfortable, and sometimes even make you question yourself. It's messy and it's not always glamorous, but it's where true transformation happens. For some of you listening, this might now feel a little bit uncomfortable already. You might wonder, am I doing enough? Am I fooling myself? Or maybe you're worried that if you're not pushing constantly, you are failing. These are the exact concerns we are tackling today. By the end of this episode, you will understand how to spot the traps of a false growth mindset and how to embrace a real one without falling into burnout. Let's talk about what happens if you believe you have a growth mindset, but stop at simply saying the right things. Maybe you tell yourself you are open to growth, you embrace challenges, and you're always learning. That sounds great in theory, but what if, deep down, you're not actually taking action to back those words up? When this happens, you risk falling into a comfort zone disguised as progress. You might avoid the discomfort of real challenges, stick to tasks you've already good at, or shy away from situations where failure feels likely. On the surface, it seems like you're making an effort, but in reality, you are staying exactly where you are. And the consequences? Over time, this false growth mindset can lead to stagnation. You might start to wonder why your efforts aren't paying off or why you're not seeing real change in your life. Worse, you might convince yourself that growth just isn't possible for you. The frustration just keeps building, your confidence takes a hit, and you miss out on the personal transformation that comes with true growth. In short, if you're not stepping into the hard, uncomfortable work of growth, you're not moving forward. And that's the cost we want to avoid, isn't it? Now let's flip to the other side of the spectrum. The belief that having a growth mindset means constantly working harder, taking on every challenge and always staying busy. This is the trap of equating growth with relentless action, and it's a path that can lead straight to burnout. When you're stuck in this mindset, it feels like you're doing everything right. You're taking on project after project, saying yes to every opportunity and pushing yourself harder every single day. On the surface, it might even look like success. Your calendar is packed, your to-do list is endless, and you're always in motion. But here's the reality. Growth isn't about doing more for the sake of doing more. Burnout doesn't just drain your energy, it depletes your ability to perform at your best. Your focus starts to slip, your creativity takes a backseat, and tasks that once felt exciting or easy now feel just like a chore. Beyond performance, burnout has as well a ripple effect on your health. Constant stress can lead to exhaustion, physical illnesses, and even emotional overwhelm. And it doesn't stop there. Your relationships can also suffer. When you're running on empty, it's hard to show up for the people in your life with patience, empathy, and your own presence. True growth isn't about pushing yourself to the brink. It isn't. It's about intentional, meaningful effort, balanced with rest and reflection. Without the balance, you risk losing not only your progress, but also the very things that matter most in your life. So, what does a true growth mindset look like? To answer that, let's first take a step back and recognize what growth actually requires. Growth isn't about perfection or constant action. It's about learning and evolving through meaningful effort, intentional challenges, and the willingness to embrace discomfort. Let's revisit the two potentials of a false growth mindset and look at some examples how that could look like. First, there's the trap of stopping at the surface, right? We talked already about it, saying the right things, but not truly engaging in the work of growth. A true growth mindset goes much, much deeper. It's not enough to say, I love challenges or I'm always learning. A real growth mindset means stepping into situations where success isn't guaranteed, where failure is a real possibility, and where you might feel vulnerable. For example, imagine you've always avoided public speaking because it feels overwhelming. A true growth mindset would push you to sign up for a presentation, even if it terrifies you. The experience might not be smooth, you'll likely make mistakes, but in the process, you are rewiring your brain to see challenges as opportunities to learn, not as threats to your abilities. Now let's look at the other extreme, equating growth with constant action and hustle. A true growth mindset doesn't demand that you do everything all the time. It recognizes that growth is a process and it values quality over quantity. For instance, instead of saying yes to every project and opportunity, a growth mindset might mean focusing deeply just on one challenging task that aligns with your goals. It's about doing less, but doing it with purpose and focus. True growth also allows space for rest and reflection. Growth isn't linear. It happens in cycles. You need periods of action followed by moments to step back, assess, and integrate what you've learned. Think of an athlete training for a marathon. Growth doesn't come from running every single day until you collapse. It comes from balancing hard training sessions with recovery days, giving their body time to adapt and strengthen. A true growth mindset is about balance. It's a commitment to learning, paired with the wisdom to recognize when rest is part of the process. It's about courage, the courage to face discomfort, but also the courage to say no to overwork and, most importantly, to burnout. When you embrace a true growth mindset, you give yourself permission to be both a work in progress and a whole person at the same time. You're not just saying the words and you're not hustling yourself into the ground. You're growing in a way that's sustainable, meaningful, and authentic. Now that we've explored what a true growth mindset really looks like, let's talk about how you can start moving toward it in a practical, manageable way. I will address both extremes of a false growth mindset and offer a few actionable tips to guide you. For those stuck in the surface level mindset, first, start with one small, meaningful challenge. Growth doesn't have to mean jumping straight into the deep end, okay? Identify one area where you've been playing it safe and take a small but real step outside of your comfort zone. For example, if you're avoiding learning a new skill because you're afraid of being bad at it, commit to trying just one lesson or practice session, okay? The key is to begin, even imperfectly. And the second tip is reflect on your learning experience. After facing a challenge, take time to reflect on what you've learned rather than just evaluating whether you succeeded or you failed. Ask yourself questions like, what did I discover about myself? What skills did I start to develop? How can I improve next time? Reflection turns efforts into growth by helping you process and internalize your experience. And now for those caught in the hustle trap. First, prioritize and set boundaries. Growth doesn't mean doing everything, okay? Take a step back and evaluate what truly aligns with your goals. Choose one or two areas to focus and say no to distractions that just don't serve your growth. This not only prevents burnout, but also ensures that your efforts are meaningful and impactful. And the second tip is schedule downtime as part of your growth plan. Rest isn't a sign of weakness, okay? It's a critical part of growth. Build intentional downtime into your schedule, whether it's a weekend off, an hour for mindfulness, or simply unplugging after work. Think of it as a recovery time that fuels your ability to tackle challenges effectively. And now a universal tip for both extremes. Seek feedback from trusted sources. Growth really flourishes with the right kind of support. Whether you're hesitant to act or pushing yourself too hard, asking for feedback on both of those can provide perspective and encouragement to make some changes. A mentor or a coach or just a trusted friend can help you see your blind spots. They can help you celebrate your progress and guide you toward a healthier, more balanced mindset. If you're looking for that kind of support, I invite you to join Energy Academy, my program where I teach people how to create lasting and individual change. Through our online classes, you'll learn strategies to embrace a true growth mindset and navigate challenges at your own pace. Plus, you will get personalized guidance in our monthly live Q&A calls, where I will answer your questions and help you stay on track. Remember, these tips are just starting points. A true growth mindset isn't about instant transformation. It's about committing to the process and showing up one step at a time. Growth takes time, and that's okay. If you're ready to take that next step with the support of a community and expert guidance, Energy Academy is here to help you on your journey. As we close today's episode, I want you to know this. Wherever you are on your journey, you are not alone, and you are not far from the path of true growth. The fact that you're already here, reflecting and learning, shows that you're already moving in the right direction. Growth isn't about having it all figured out, okay? It's about being brave enough to take the next step, no matter how small it might be. Whether you've been stuck at the surface level or caught in the hustle, today is your chance to realign, to move forward with intention, and to create meaningful change in your life. You just have so much potential within you, and the process of growth is how you uncover it. Be kind to yourself as you navigate the challenges, and trust that every step, no matter how imperfect, is bringing you closer to the person you're becoming. You're on this path for a reason, and I believe in your ability to make it your own. I will see you soon. Bye bye.